It's Talk Funny, a podcast by Mark Bailey and comics from all over. We ended up in Japan because it's just our 19th nervous breakdown. The Talk Funny podcast from Nagoyaradio.com and Nagoyacomedy. Here's Mark Bailey.
And we're back with Talk Funny. I'm Mark Bailey, and we've got our guest Tomo Shaga of the Tomo Shaga Tribute Band. You can find him on Reverb Nation and check out his music. You can also check out, pretty active on Facebook when they announce their dates, and also on YouTube you can find some videos from him. And we met at one of the clubs in Gifu when I was doing a comedy show, and we got to talking about how you write and how you are influenced. And it's very similar with comedians and musicians, blues musicians, very similar. I think comedians have nothing in common with pop musicians because they have wonderful lives. Pop musicians like Justin Bieber has a great life. Justin Bieber cannot sing the blues. He's never been sad. He's never had his heart broken, probably. And if not, he's rich, so he can't get over it. But does that influence you? Because it influences my writing when I talk about relationships, and I talk a lot about my wife and how I was brokenhearted, things like that. And some of it is exaggeration, but some of it is real, and you mix it. It's kind of a story, right? So do you do that for writing, for music?
Yes, absolutely. The reason why I play in the band, because I want to send my messages to every one of them who are brokenhearted.
Right.
And now at the moment, it's I'm going through the hardship, being brokenhearted by the one I really loved.
Right.
And she done me wrong. She's gone for someone else, one after another.
Right.
Particularly, we are here in Japan. There are some foreigners, like Brazilians.
Right.
She got really interested in all those gangsters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're so attractive. So that's so fair enough if she goes for them. But still, I think of her and want her back.
Yeah, that's a common.
That's blues, isn't it?
It is. It's common. It's a common story. It's not just about Japan. This happens in every country, and you have a thug, a gangster, and has very glamorous life, and women like shiny objects. Women are kind of like trout. They're kind of like fishes. You're shiny object, and they go over here. And sometimes that's how you catch them. But I found that experience as well. Plus, your ex was South American, wasn't she?
South American.
She was from South America.
California.
She was from California. Yeah. Okay.
California.
So I thought that maybe she was from South America because in my day, I had my heart broken. Every time it was broken by a girl from usually Argentina or Venezuela, Colombia. Beautiful, just very beautiful and exotic. But I'm just like a toy for them, just like a cat. So
they're exotic.
Yeah, I'm a sock.
Attractive.
I'm a sock, and she plays with me for 17 seconds and then throws me away. Yeah, and goes on to the next one. So that's why there's a lot of men that sing the blues, not a lot of women that sing the blues. Have you noticed that?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know what the women do when they get their heart broken, but the men write and they express themselves in music.
Men get
comedy. Yes. Yeah. We both met at a club where we were doing comedy. I was doing comedy, and you were kind enough to let me on stage and play the drums for you. We only had a two-man band. You were singing Honky Tonk Woman from the Rolling Stones. And very cool. And I think I can't do the drums because it would make too much noise on the microphone. But I was very impressed. And I thought we didn't sound too bad for only two people. It's very difficult.
No. It was only two, and we did this
very difficult
honky thing.
Right. Very difficult.
It really worked.
No bass, no guitar.
No bass, no guitar.
And we had another harmonica player, but he didn't want to play. So
I think we did tickle their heart.
Yeah, but it was fun for me. And you mentioned before, like you do it for the love of music as well.
Yes, I love the music, and that makes me live. Music is a friend.
Yes, I think
that makes me live.
When you're depressed, music will get you through it. And it was true when I'm a teenager. It's true, but it's true when you get older. When you get older, you get depression like you've never known, and music helps you through it. And comedy, writing is very therapeutic. So writing helps me get through it as well. So you like the Rolling Stones, and is Mick Jagger your favorite because you kind of look like Mick Jagger a little bit?
I'm afraid I don't look like him, but I'm still trying. Yeah, so.
Well, you look more like him.
He's so diplomatic.
Yeah, you look more like him than Charlie Watts or than Keith Richards.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or Ron Wood.
I've got big lips.
And then, what other Stone songs do you like? What are your favorite Stone songs? So, Honky Tonk Women.
Oh, I love Monkey Man.
Monkey Man, that's great.
Yeah.
And Give Me Shelter is a big one. People like to cover that. Do you guys cover that song?
As for my band, we actually being ourselves.
Right.
So we're not trying to cover any Stones
Right.
tunes while we gig.
Right. Give Me Shelter is actually not really blues. It's not much blues either. It's just kind of psychedelic. Yeah. It's not as you guys are more blues oriented. That's cool. So where is Tomo Shaga Band going? So what's your goal? Do you want to be big YouTube stars, or do you want to get you have a label? You've released?
I'm afraid
music?
we haven't any label. We haven't got any label.
Well, I mean, now it doesn't matter.
But we're going to be the star.
Right. And
in the future.
In the future, big stars. And now, I mean, this is actually good. It's a good time to be a musician because the record labels can't steal money from you because the record labels are making no money. And now you go directly to people, right, with Patreon. There's a lot of great sites like that. Patreon and Reverb Nation. And it's very good for independent musicians. So I remember in the 80s and 90s when I was on radio, and the record labels made a lot of money, and some of the musicians made very little money. You'd be very surprised. There was a time, I think Billy Joel was very, very poor in the late 70s. Because the record label was stealing his money. And I think some of the, of course, what a one-hit wonder is. Like the band only has one hit, and then they dissolve, they break up. Toni Basil, she said she was completely poor, even though she had a #1 record. Hey, Mickey. Her producer and her record company, so like all of them. No, we don't know those people. We only know her. We like her. But she makes no money. So you have to do it for love, I think. And yeah, that's true. What brought you? Why do you come to a comedy show? Like, what does that have to do with you guys?
Okay, I just realized exactly how you feel, as you said, like playing comedy is very equivalent to playing blues, and I thought that's going to be the blues experience for me to go out to see the comedy show at KJ's in Gifu.
Right. So I have a funny joke. We had a long time ago, our comedy group. We played at Coat of Arms. We played several times. But the first time we played was with a couple of folk singers. And I won't name them because they're friends of ours, but their audience is not a comic audience. Their audience is very, Japanese word naive, it's
square.
Yeah, square, exactly. They're very proper, and they are shocked, like the things that I talk about. If my wife died in a car accident, that would be horrible, but I'll get over it. Like, next week I would be over it. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Don't worry. And I say that on stage in front of a folk audience, and they're like, oh my God, right? You say it in front of a blues audience, and they're like, yeah, because he's in pain.
I get it.
The man is in pain,
I get it, yeah.
Right? It doesn't mean I want my wife dead. It just means I'm in pain, right? And blues audiences get that, right? But folk audiences do not. So they never tried comedy with a folk band before. So my friend invited us, and my friend was in a folk band. So first is us, comedians, and we're dressed like jeans, very sloppy, and the folk guys are dressed like very nice shirts. Well, I'm dressed like this, t-shirt, torn jeans, and a little bit of a beard, and we get on stage, and the folk audience, they like Peter, Paul, and Mary, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. And
100 miles.
Yes.
100 miles.
100 miles, 100 miles. So, and they want to do like this, they want to clap and sway. And then, so I get up on stage. Well, first, a guy before me gets up on stage, and he criticizes the owner of the bar, and he criticizes folk music, and he criticizes musicians, and he criticizes Canada, and he criticizes Australia, and he criticizes, a lot of things. That's what comedians do. But he's not angry. It's art. He's trying to get you emotions from you. He's trying to affect you, right? And the people in the audience, you can hear them go like, oh my God. and no one's laughing. They're just, they're shocked, And so the way I paint the picture, so Peter Pollinari, bass player, big upright bass, cute blonde girl singing, and guitarist, acoustic guitar. That's Peter Pollinari. That's what this audience wants. But what they got was the band Slipknot. Do you know what they look like? Slipknot? Slipknot is like Kiss if Kiss was in prison. So, the way Kiss dresses? Mm-hmm. But Slipknot, they have just like masks, and they have a guy with half of his face is blood, and they're very gross, very Halloween-looking band. And that's what we looked like to the audience. Yeah, because they were expecting folk music, and then I got up and I said, so I came home and I couldn't find my wife. I was afraid that nothing had happened to her. I was afraid. And I was right, because nothing had happened to her, So all my hopes were up. And they were and they're all shocked. And we weren't invited back by the musicians. Oh, they are still our friends. But they said, it's a wrong crowd for you guys. And afterwards, some of the folk musicians, they were saying, like, you guys are drinking, and some of you are smoking, and you're, like, using curse words. I'm like, yeah, we're comedians. We're very miserable people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mijime na jinsei, ne? Very miserable. Yeah? Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly. So comedians don't have fun lives. If I had a fun life, I would have a wonderful wife, and I'd have a great car, and I'd be doing something else. I'd be an actor or something. But I don't have a wonderful life, so I have to get up on stage and talk about it, and I'm good at it. So that's my calling, and that's my love is the writing for it. And I can make money. It's amazing to me. I can make money from my misery. It's amazing. It's great, right? You have to.
Same as blues music.
Exactly. That's
every
what
time
blues
we play
is.
music. Every time we play blues music, we get paid.
Exactly. and then I don't know if you watched The Simpsons, but that's one of my favorites. Simpsons is comedy animation, and there was a scene, an episode where Lisa, the daughter, she's playing the saxophone and she's playing the blues, and she keeps telling her teacher is a black former blues guy. It's a cartoon. And she tells her teacher, I keep playing the blues, but I don't feel better. And he said, playing the blues is not about making you feel better. It's about making everyone else feel bad. So that's why I get up on stage and I say, who thinks marriage is good? Who's happily married? Well, I'm not. And then I kind of, burst your balloon. I pop your balloon. I'll destroy your balloon. Yeah. You have a nice toy? You like that toy? I would destroy it. I will. Oh, that's a cute puppy dog. I'm going to rip the head off of the puppy dog doll. That's what my comedy is, and shocks you, but you will never forget it, right? And then you have experience, and you're like, I want to experience that again. So I think it's blues and comedy very close. And I have a question I want to ask you, but we're going to end this for now. One more, we'll do another episode. This has been Mark Bailey with Tomo Shaga. You can find him on Reverb Nation, Tomo Shaga Tribute Band, and also on YouTube, and we'll have you back next week. Thanks for coming by.